when the Rams take on the Vikings. So we're just about all set to go here from Irving, Texas. At halftime, the commissioner, Pete Rozelle, will be with us. We'll take a look at the firing of Woody Hayes and highlights as Pittsburgh downs Denver. For Irv and the Greek and Shane and Eddie LeBaron, I'm Brent Musburger. We hope you've enjoyed the NFL Today on CBS.
As you would expect, Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, between Dallas and Fort Worth, is sold out. The first appearance ever in the playoffs for the Atlanta Falcons, quarterbacked by Steve Bartkowski. Roger Staubach leads Dallas and does it well.
The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang. The Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by the J.C. Penney battery. It's the last battery your car will ever need.
It's 32 degrees in Texas for this playoff match between the Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys, and a good afternoon to you. I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire, as you would expect. And what do you think about this contest?
Well, I think that this gutsy Atlanta team recovered 25 fumbles, which was #1 in the NFL, and I have a feeling Tony Dorsett will be tested early. He had 12 himself, and if the Atlanta team is going to be in this game, they've got to use turnovers, good defense, and try to keep Dallas into that slow start that they've been known for.
I was interested last night in listening to Tom Landry talk about the 2-week layoff. The Falcons, of course, played Philadelphia last week. Dallas took a rest, and he doesn't know how that affected his team or what effect it's had.
And Roger Staubach, the #1 quarterback in at least this conference, maybe in all of football, he's coming off a hand injury and a foot injury, and he can also start slowly once in a while, and we'll see if he's high and wide early. We'll know.
We'll have a chance to watch him first because Dallas has won the toss. It is freezing in Dallas. Temperature right at the 32-degree mark and deep for the Cowboys. Butch Johnson and Larry Princeton, 36 and 86. 86 is Butch. The officials, Thomas, said they've been around a while.
91 years of professional experience in this officiating crew. 28 by Stan Javi, number 29.
Tim Mazzetti. A line drive kickoff to Butch Johnson. He handles at his own 5. The game is underway. With a 32. By Bob Glazebrook for Atlanta. The Dallas offensive line.
Donovan, Scott, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, and of course Rayfield Wright, the big cat back at right tackle, and playing very well.
The receivers are very, very good. Tony Hill and Drew Pearson wide. Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end.
And Dupree may get a lot of action with this big blitzing Atlanta defense.
Dorsett and Laidlaw will operate behind Roger Staubach. First down, Dallas at their own 31. Pittsburgh has advanced to the AFC Championship. They defeated Denver 33-10. Three-man front for Atlanta. Laidlaw struggles for about 5. Robert Pennywell makes the tackle. Here's the Atlanta defense.
All right, that's Yates, Bailey, Lewis, and Merrill. Now, once in a while, you'll get Lewis out of there, make that Bailey out of there. They'll go with 3 down men and 4 linebackers, and they will blitz.
How about these linebackers?
Captain Crazy, Kuykendall, Pennywell, Brazina. Brazina had 8 sacks this year.
They lost their key man in that secondary, Easterling, earlier in the year, but that group there has played very well.
And Roland Lawrence is a heck of a cornerback at the left side.
5 yards by Laidlaw on the first down, so it's 2nd and 5 Dallas. Laidlaw again. Near a first down.
That time Dallas brought their offensive right tackle, Rayfield Wright, back in an outside trap by the tackle. But I'll tell you, the recovery by this bunch in red is incredible. I might as well say what Jeff Yates told Jerry Glanville, his coach, before the game. He says, happy hand grenades, and don't take any prisoners. It's do or die for us today.
Laidlaw just about a half yard shy of the first down, so make it 3rd and about a half yard. Robert Newhouse, by the way, is available. Did work out, but he is not 100%. So Laidlaw has carried twice. 3 tight end offense.
Roger gets it himself. Watch the action of the linemen. Let's see if we get any pulling action like they may be going wide. They do pull. Offensive tackles pull, and Roger goes ahead and dips in after a little bit of a hesitation step.
Wilson Famwina made the stop on Staubach.
It's 275. Large indeed.
First down, Dallas at their own 39. This is the first offensive series. Dorsett hit way behind the line of scrimmage by Roland Lawrence, I would imagine.
That time they blitzed them. That was the first blitz we've seen from this Atlanta defense. And they do this, they say, 65% of the time. Watch the top of your screen, you'll see the cornerback blitz. And T.D. Dorsett has nowhere to go. Watch the top of your screen. That's Frank Reed, the safety man that made the move. Both outside linebackers came, and I think Kuykendall was grooving too.
So it'll be a second down for Dallas. They lost 6. Line of scrimmage, their own 33. No scores yet. Blitz again. Drew Pearson had the ball right on his fingertips. A good throw from Staubach.
It's a quick slant, and he had about 1.5 yards on bias, and the ball was right on. Remember that. Roger's first real throw was right on the money and dropped.
Notice that Drew Pearson is wearing gloves in this freezing temperature. They're expecting sometime later this afternoon freezing rain. Lehman Bennett.
Boy, what a job he's done. He was the NFC Coach of the Year a year ago when he got him 7-7. Here he is in the playoffs in year number 2.
So it'll be a third down for the Cowboys, and the shotgun is unveiled for the first time. Preston Pearson back with Staubach, who lofts the period of Drew Pearson, who's got it. Out of bounds at the Atlanta 27. Rick Bias made the tackle, and another good throw from Staubach.
Atlanta did not think that the shotgun would bother their blitz. Now watch how many Atlanta Falcons come, and watch how the Dallas protection is. It's excellent. Post corner, and Pearson doesn't drop 2 in a row. I don't think I've ever seen him drop 2 in a row.
Super throw from number 12. He's still the clutch receiver.
This is from down on the field. You can see it.
They mark it at the Atlanta 28 when all of that's over.
45th catch for number 88. Dallas is knocking already. They look hot.
Much. Jim Bailey led the Atlanta defense.
The 260-pounder from Kansas. That time they tried the inside trap. Again, you're not blocking the same person twice in a row. And this is the most confusing thing for a disciplined offense like the Cowboys. Where do all the red shirts come from? They do twist and squirm, don't they?
Lehman Bennett said yesterday, when you blitz as much as we do, you're trying to hide weaknesses somewhere, but they hide it well. Second and 9. Quick again. Caught again. And what a catch by Drew Pearson.
Great pass protection, and that time Roger came straight over and down with it, a little low. Pearson isn't bad for a free agent that just walked in and said, I think I can play.
Rick Bias tackled him.
And good pop blocking. That means the offensive lineman went out and got Atlanta right on the line of scrimmage.
Enough for Dallas first down at the Atlanta 14. 11:15 left to play first quarter. No score.
They don't look like the layoffs hurt them.
No.
Must have had a good Christmas, huh?
They look like they sharpened things during the layoff. Double tight end offense now as Billy Joe Dupree comes in motion left. Pitches back to Laidlaw. He puts on the brakes. Pursuit is there. Jeff Yates was the man in the red with the initial contact.
There's the fellow that said happy hand grenades. They are letting it all out. It's the option play. That time Roger may have thrown that a little too soon to the outside, but Yates was waiting.
Pennywell came over to help. Greg Brazina is number 50.
They'll go sideline to sideline with you with that defense. Brazina, Kuykendall, Pennywell.
Brazina says we got to put 11 hats on them. Everybody on the defense has got to be around. Loss of 2 on that play. Ball back, straight back again. The blitz is on. They pick it up well in the corner and out of the end zone. Intended for Drew Pearson. Covered by Rick Bias.
The Atlanta secondary, while very aggressive, is very short. By that I mean the tallest one back there is Reed at 5'11". Bias, the man that just made that play, is 5'9". And when you're playing a blitzing type defense all the time, it really makes tough solo coverage when you're giving away at least 2 or 3 inches to every receiver.
Tom Landry, who calls all the plays by shuffling his guards, Burton Lawless and Rafferty. The 26th postseason game for Landry, an NFL record. Split wide to the left, Drew Pearson right. Dorsett and Laidlaw remain the running backs, and they both stay in the block. And Dorsett gets a good block.
Oh!
Rick Bias again on the coverage intended for Tony Hill.
And the safety man came over. That's Pridemore. That ball may have been really hot when it got to Tony Hill.
What's the block by Dorsett?
Okay, let's watch this. Dorsett shifts back. Dorsett will come inside. Tell you they were blitzing again that time. That's pretty good secondary work. Hill didn't really have a good shot at that.
Raphael Septien from 34 yards away from the goalpost with Charlie Waters holding.
He's 10 of 11 up to 30. Let's see what he is from 34.
He's effective. It's good. Dallas breaks on top. 34-yard field goal from Raphael Septien. And with 10:04 left, first quarter, Dallas leads Atlanta by the score of 3-0. Dallas kept the ball 12 plays. They went 57 yards. They got a 34-yard field goal from Raphael Septien, who is ready to kick off right now. Dennis Franklin deep for Atlanta. Dennis Pearson, I beg your pardon.
And he averages about 27 yards at kickoff. This is a good department for Atlanta.
Out of bounds. George Franklin is number 40. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. Septien's kick out of bounds. He'll have to do it this time from the 30.
And the ball may hang up a little bit more. And now you've run your people down into the kickoff. And Pearson has taken one back this year, 100 yards. Hey, Whistling Ray's got a new horse this year.
The old one broke down.
He's always the same, and he's always different, isn't he, Whistling Ray?
Ray, he's always happy. He's got a reason to be. Good kick from Septien. It is Dennis Pearson. Penalty marker goes down on the far side of the field, but a good return. Dennis Thurman made the tackle.
And Pearson brings it right up the middle. It's going to be clipping against Atlanta. And we might watch this first offensive series, Pat, after the officials mark this off, and see if the offensive line has trouble blocking that Dallas flex defense. They may hold on offense, too.
Almost everybody does. Let's look at the Atlanta offense.
There's the big rookie, Ken, at the left tackle. Scott, who will be working with Randy White. Van Note, who's been there for almost ever. Thielman, the big young man from Arkansas in his second year, and McKinley.
Personal foul. Clipping. 36 on a return. It's first down.
The voice of Cal Lepore. Let's continue the Atlanta setup.
And of course, Mr. Francis, the bomb catcher. Jimmy Mitchell, one of the great tight ends still. And little Billy Rickman, who can do a lot of things.
Bartkowski will have Bubba Bean and Haskell stand back behind him. Stand back leaves for a moment, leaving Bean as the lone setback. We'll tell you about the Dallas defense in just a second. Straight away. Bean, good yardage. Aaron Kyle, the cornerback, made the tackle.
This is from a double wingback formation, and I'll tell you, Atlanta's getting big splits in there. Let's see what happens. They get Randy White turned out by Van Note's block, the center. Bubba Bean had over 700 yards and picks up the biggest first down of the season for him.
First down, Atlanta. The Dallas defense is familiar to everybody.
Jones, Cole is in there, Jethro Pugh is out, and of course the three linebackers that can get carried away, can't they?
Very quickly. And the secondary is solid, too. Here's Bean again. Sort of a homecoming for Bubba. He played collegiately at Texas A&M and played well. Cliff Harris made that tackle.
How about Lehman Bennett's strategy, coming out running the ball? The Falcons only averaged about 103 yards rushing per game. And to come out against this kind of a team, the best rushing defense in the NFC, and take it to them twice in a row is rather interesting.
The teams that have moved the ball against them have done it in the air. Atlanta's doing it on the ground so far. Second, Bartkowski is going to throw. Caught by Rickman. And a heck of a catch. And a heck of a throw as well.
Catch number 46 for Billy Rickman. He's 5'10", 160 pounds of just bone and shoulder pads. Good throw by Bartkowski. Notice that quick two-step drop. Just over Benny Barnes. And of course, he gets wrapped by Cliff Harris.
Benny Barnes never saw the ball, did he?
Good catch, huh?
What a throw. First down, Atlanta. At the Dallas 41. 8:46 left first quarter. Dallas 3. Falcons' first offensive possession. This time he only gets one. Tackle on Bubba Bean made by Randy White.
Little trouble on the line of scrimmage. Randy White is, of course, the peacemaker for Dallas. And he does stop a lot of trouble before it happens.
He would.
This is quite a resurgence for Bartkowski, though, who was really, during preseason, just booed out of the stadium at home.
Eddie LeBaron said he had a very poor preseason, and the fans knew it. 2-yard gain. Haskell stand back, and Bubba Bean running backs. Bartkowski intended for Pearson, the same play they tried just before. A flag is thrown by the official as Cliff Harris took a swipe and a push at the intended receiver.
I thought that maybe Benny Barnes, number 31, was going to get called for using the elbow, but this might be just an unsportsmanlike.
That's what it is. Cliff Harris quickly was saying, "What did I do?" And they're trying to calm him down now.
It's Pearson going up the sidelines, number 81. Barnes had pretty good position, and I think Harris just came over to do the old intimidation factor, which is strong.
Taunting.
Taunting.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, 43. Defense, first down.
That is, of course, Cliff Harris.
He's a good Baptist boy, though. He didn't curse, did he? I'll tell you that.
I'm glad you're sure. First down. Bartkowski drops and fires outside. Caught. Wallace Francis, the receiver.
Boy, D.D. Lewis was stuck to him like glue. Of all the people you don't hear about on this Dallas Cowboy team, D.D. Lewis, number 50, might be the steadiest. Let's see what's happening up front, because Bartkowski is getting time to throw, even though they're quick drops.
You see why.
Harvey's being doubled. That's big Ken on him, who's 6'6", 270.
And they held the tight end Mitchell in to help out. Wise choice. Stand-back sets up on the right side, leaving Bean the lone running back. 2nd and 8 as Bartkowski gives to Bubba Bean. Cut back to the right. Thomas Henderson, the first hit.
Jerry Tubbs, the linebacker coach for the Cowboys, and the former original Cowboy, told me that when 56 wants to play, he is perhaps the best outside linebacker in football. And he stays right over the tight end, and he's fast. He can cover guys by himself, and he can really rock.
And enjoys it.
He looks skinny at about 222, doesn't he? Can he hit? Watch Bubba. Meet Hollywood Henderson.
3rd down, about 5. At the Dallas 19. In Mazzetti's range already. Dallas leads 3-0. The 30-second clock ran out, and they'll lose 5.
Like Haskell Standback got lined up in the wrong formation, and some of these formations look new, like they may have put them in to take advantage of what they might be able to do early against Dallas.
Delay offense, 3rd down.
Dallas scored on a 34-yard field goal by Raphael Septien. It'll be 3rd down 10 at Atlanta.
I wonder if Dallas will double on the outside and let Henderson cover Mitchell all by himself.
Mark Washington comes out with Francis. Rickman is split wide on the other side. Aaron Kyle, it appears, has him alone. And now they retreat to give him help. Right-handed maneuver, and it's complete. That ought to be enough for a 1st down, or very nearly.
And Wallace Francis is some kind of a receiver. Remember, they lost Alfred Jenkins early in the year, one of the good receivers. A rollout. This time Bartkowski put both backs in front of him to get the extra blocking. By the way, this ball was really hummed. A short out, it's good.
Mark Washington pushed him back and out of bounds, and it's close enough to measure.
And Brunig's going to make sure for Dallas, huh?
They have it.
This is some impressive drive.
It is.
Even though there was one flag dropped in it, Atlanta's going right at the strength of this Dallas team. Look at this roll right. Tell you, Bartkowski fired that one.
An overcast, cold day in Dallas. But I don't think anybody in the stadium knows it at the moment. Draw play to Bubba Bean, and he might score.
Oh.
He does. Bubba Bean on quite an effort on a draw play from Bartkowski.
And Dave Scott, the offensive left guard, and Ken, the big offensive tackle, the rookie, they did a heck of a job setting up this draw. Watch the right part of your screen. That's Randy White. Woo! Scott may have gotten away with a little holding, but it's too fast. Bubba's by and gone. See you later.
Charlie Waters hit Bean at about the 2. But he had decided the Falcons should be on the board. John James, a holder for Tim Mazzetti, and it's good. Atlanta takes the lead with 6 minutes and 25 seconds left. First quarter, Falcons 7, Cowboys 3.
Mazzetti is 19 for 19.
Handles a press conference any better than Tom Landry does?
No, but he looks like he might be a little concerned right now.
He has reason to be.
Bartkowski, by the way, is 3 of 4 for 34 yards and very impressive rolling out.
A good-looking drive for the Atlanta Falcons, and they lead 7-3. Mazzetti. It'll be Butch Johnson to handle at the 9. And the Atlanta Falcons are down in good shape, led by Ron McCartney, number 56, the first man there.
Spider-Man comes to CBS, huh?
Tell you more about that in a minute, but let's go down to the sideline to the great John Unitas and see what he's got.
Thank you, Pat. And what I want to do is just a great comparison of benches. The Cowboy bench is completely quiet with no laughter or anything over there. They just been scored upon, and the difference down here between that bench and the Falcons, everybody's really, really up for the football game. And looks like we've got a great one right on our hands.
Sure does. Johnny, you looks a little chilly down there.
Yeah, it's cold.
He could still play.
Staubach goes and throws to Jackie Smith. And the veteran gets a Dallas first down before Frank Reed takes him out of bounds. He can still run.
Jackie Smith's first catch of the year. Picked up from St. Louis. They'd really off the waiver sheet. A reverse, naked reverse by Staubach. He could have run with it himself, but it's much smarter to give it to somebody that still runs a 4.78 40.
And still weighs 230. And still loves to play. Jackie Smith. First down, Dallas at their own 42. Atlanta leads 7-3 with 6:09 left first quarter. Staubach throws high. That one took off. Intended for Drew Pearson. Bias on the defense.
Bias had pretty good position. I wonder if Roger very quickly read it and decided to airmail that one. He's going to have to really do some reading against this Atlanta defense because they don't give you the same front. And sometimes they'll fake the blitz and sometimes they'll send everybody.
Temperature now has dropped down below freezing, down to 30. They're expecting, as I said before, freezing rain later today and tonight. And tomorrow the snow will arrive, if they're correct. 2nd and 10, Dallas. Staubach has more time, and again the ball sails over the outstretched hands of Billy Joe Dupree. Frank Reed covering him. Some of the sharpness seems to have disappeared from the Dallas offense.
That time they sent 2 linebackers. They faked coming with about 7. Remember, Roger now is given a number by the guard that brings it into the huddle, and then he fabricates the whole play around that. He gets the formation, the man in motion, what they're going to do after he's told just a simple number by the guard.
And he will operate from shotgun. He has stopped going up into the center at all. They just walk out and line up into the shotgun where they used to shift every time. Rosina was blitzing, and again he was intended for Preston Pearson, but the ball sailed high for the 3rd straight time, and Roger sailed down.
Well, Famawina and Brazina both went through with their charges and hit Roger Staubach. The official was right on top of it. Look, Brazina getting blocked to the right part of your screen. Watch him keep up. That's the reason he got 8 sacks. They continue their charge, and the official looks. No malice, no intent meant.
Famawina made the first contact.
It's a lot.
275. Danny White's first appearance. Dallas' first punt, first one in the game. To take off with it. He's going to have the first down. Danny White, who is an excellent athlete, gets the first down for Dallas. Bob Glazebrook made the tackle, but Danny White scrambles for a first down.
Last week against the New York Jets, he had to punt one on the run up at Shea Stadium. And that time, nobody for Atlanta forced from the weak side. Danny White looks like he knows what he's doing. Watch number 11 now. He will watch the backers drop. He'll go ahead and act like he's going to take his step. Nobody forces. He goes right up behind him. Of course, at the end of this trail, a lot of red shirts show up.
That looked like it was a designed play. He had some blockers out in front quickly. Dallas gets the first down at the Atlanta 46. Scott Laidlaw breaks into the secondary. Keeps his balance. Laidlaw.
We saw him start his first game on Thanksgiving Day against the Redskins. He broke a 59-yarder that day, had over 100 yards. He's clever. He doesn't overpower you. But I'll tell you one thing, he makes you hump to get him down.
Frank Reed finally made the tackle on Laidlaw. Another Dallas first down at the Atlanta 25.
There's that quick draw.
Didn't want to go down, did he? Dorsett comes in motion. Laidlaw gets the handoff. Jeff Murrow made the tackle, but Laidlaw got 4 before he went down.
Time they pulled the left tackle right on through the hole. Donovan got through the hole, but the ball carrier suffered a little bit.
Make it a gain of 3 by Laidlaw, so it's 2nd and 7 at the 22.
Famawina's in, the nose man, so the Falcons are anticipating pass by Roger the Dodger.
Pearson split wide left. Tony Hill lined up inside. And Roger comes back. Blitz is on and the screen for Dorsett. He gets inside the 15 and goes out of bounds, hit by Dewey McQueen. It ought to be another Dallas first down. It is.
Remember the first game of the year against Baltimore when 33 went 91 yards with a screen pass? There's Donovan making sure, cutting down. Now the wall is already formed, and I'll tell you, Roger Staubach waited a long time to squeeze it off.
Burton Lawless, number 66, checks in with a play for Staubach. It is first down Dallas at the Atlanta 13. Lehman Bennett's team leads by the score of 7-3. The Miracle Falcons. What a season they've had.
He's working on that gum, isn't he?
He did very well at the press conference last night, too. The blitz is on, and Callback is 2. Tony Hill juggles it. He's out of bounds. He finally got it, but when he went out of bounds, he was still juggling.
They call the young man from Long Beach Poly High School Thrill Hill. He was the greatest baseball player in Southern California, averaged 26 points a game in basketball. Look what he almost does. Just out.
What a career he had at Stanford as well.
He may have one in Dallas, too, I think.
I think so. Rick Bias. That's Mike Ditka standing behind Tom Landry, and the other is Gil Brandt, the so-called super scout. Ditka jogs about 3 or 4 miles every day still. In full equipment. Laidlaw. Oh, what good blocking up front by the 2 guards and John Fitzgerald.
Herbert Scott, number 68, got a super block, and Fitzgerald went through. And you're right, this crowd is purely Texas. Boy, can they whoop it up. All right, you're the Atlanta secondary. Watch Fitzgerald right in the middle of your screen. He takes Bomber on him. Tell you, Laidlaw hit that hole in a hurry.
Sure did. And Dallas recaptures the lead. Raphael Septien will try to add the extra point with Charlie Waters holding. It is Dallas 10, Atlanta 7.
Here's the touchdown. Was it good blocking, or did Laidlaw hit that hole in a hurry? Maybe it was both.
It was both.
Herbert Scott, the 4-year guard. Watch into the left of your 68. Take Kuykendall, the linebacker, and Rafferty and Fitzgerald have gotten Famuina out of there, and that is a touch.
And Laidlaw got through there in a hurry. Septien to kick off. Dennis Pearson will be in the middle, but he won't handle. It'll be Tom Pridemore at about his own 7. He finally stumbles on the artificial turf. Robert Steele got a hand on him. Tonight on CBS, Spider-Man and Demon Seed, starring Julie Christie.
Spider-Man, all right. You can hang from tall buildings, right? By a thread or whatever.
Fritz Weaver will co-star with Julie Christie and Demon Seed. A drama of a woman trapped by forces she is powerless to control. Okay. Haskell stand back. Did not quite make it back to the line of scrimmage. Henderson, D.D. Lewis, everybody.
Boy, D.D. Lewis really got a tackle. Penetrated, hit him at the knees, and dropped him. And don't forget that Atlanta was 2-6 on the road. They like that Fulton County Stadium back in the Southland.
And Dallas likes it here. They were 7-1 here, is that right?
7-1 at home.
Minnesota defeated them on a Thursday night. It'll be 2nd and 10, and Bartkowski drops and throws. An overthrow intended for Alfred Jackson, the sprinter from Texas.
Bartkowski sort of loaded that one up and threw a sailor. He's talking to himself about it. Pretty good blocking on the line of scrimmage. McKinley's doing a pretty good job on Ed Jones. He's cutting him at the line of scrimmage and trying to get those gigantic arms down. Otherwise, Bartkowski won't even be able to see. 6'9".
George Franklin goes into the Atlanta backfield, and Haskell standback comes out. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Falcons. That's Franklin. And that Franklin has an Atlanta first down. Stopped by Benny Barnes, and Mark Washington helped out, along with Too Tall Jones from behind.
Franklin only had 1 carry for the entire season. He's a good athlete. Lehman Bennett, in answer to your question yesterday, said the best athlete on my squad might be Franklin.
And you might see him, he said.
And watch number 43 miss him. You don't see Harris use the fingernails for tackling very often.
Franklin is 6'3" and 225. Standback is back here again, and Thomas Henderson wraps Steve Bartkowski.
We don't hear a lot about the Dallas Blitz, but they come from center field. That time Harris came from one side, and Henderson Came right in. Bartkowski takes it pretty well. Remember, he has been often injured in this league. He only played, what, 21 games his first 3 seasons. But he's big and strong.
Lehman Bennett, talking to some of the Falcon coaches before the game, they were saying he is the most remarkable man on the sideline. They have never seen him lose his poise. Never seen him get rattled.
Maybe that's the reason they're here.
That's got to have something to do with it. A quick draw on second down. Haskell stand back the ball carrier, stopped quickly.
This is careful time. You got a punter like James. You might even think about booting it deep down in the corner and not putting this ball up. Boy, does Dallas love to get you so they can go to that nickel defense.
Just over a minute, and now exactly a minute left to play in the first quarter. It's Dallas 10, Atlanta 7. 3rd and 14 situation for the Falcons. Everybody standing on both benches. Take the blitz. Too tall Jones and Randy White. Too tall was there first.
Watch the big tackle, McKinley trying to get back. The receiver will not have a chance because number 10 didn't. As we've said, Ed Jones is not only 6'9", 275, but he is very quick.
Alfred Jackson was the receiver we had isolated. John James, and watch the unusual stance he assumes back there when he kicks.
You know, he hasn't been dropping the ball very well. He had twins about 3 weeks ago, and he's still a very nervous new father, they say.
Good snap. Ooh, a line shot. Butch Johnson fumbles it, and Atlanta has it. What a play. Moriarty led the Atlanta coverage, and the ball bounced right to it. Atlanta's in great shape.
And their special teams do a job. The ball goes. That will be considered either a muff or a fumble. I'm not sure.
That's a muff.
But Moriarty was right on the muff.
Got the perfect bounce, and the Falcons have the football with 8 seconds left to play in the first quarter. They're down by only 3.
They're not waiting until the fourth quarter.
Any doubts about them being outclassed should be over by now. They came to take part in the contest. Bartkowski fakes and is dropped by Larry Cole. Second sack of Steve Bartkowski.
Oh, Bubba, they call him, number 63. Been there through all the great teams. Doesn't get much publicity. But I'll tell you something, he'll get you a big sack. Watch the left part of your screen. He is what they call barn strong. Somehow he splits 3 different blocks and makes the sack as Steve puts it away and tries to run.
And that'll do it for the first quarter as Lehman Bennett has his team ready to play. No question about it. It's Dallas 10, Atlanta 7 after 1 quarter at Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Texas Stadium, where it's Dallas 10, Atlanta 7. The Falcons are in Cowboy territory. George Franklin and Bubba Bean, the setbacks for Atlanta. That's Franklin. Back to the original line of scrimmage before Harvey Martin made the tackle. Dave Stahl's in the game for Dallas, and he's played well lately.
Must have been against the computer, sort of a strange call on 2nd and long. Maybe the thing about a Mazzetti field goal attempt.
Well, he can get it there.
Franklin, by the way, is the 2nd-year man from Texas A&I. As you said, Patrick, big, strong. Right now he's sort of crude in football ways, but he looks like he might play a little bit.
He sure does look like a good athlete. It'll be 3rd down for the Atlanta Falcons. And it's Franklin again. Cliff Harris with the sure tackle made the first contact. And Mazzetti should... That's John James.
Well, I'll tell you, that was some pursuit by that Dallas bunch because Henderson was cut down by Van Note, the center. And the play looked real good, as it usually does. Hey, here's Mazzetti now.
He is in. James will hold.
Here's the play. To the left of your screen now, you'll see Van Note coming out to the very left and just cut Hollywood down. And all of a sudden, the play comes apart. It's like Custer at the Little Bighorn, right?
Atlanta's in danger of letting the 30-second clock expire, and that might take him out of range. This will be from 42 yards out. A little bit further than that.
The longest one he's tried this year.
Oh, he's got enough distance. We have a tie as Mazzetti hits. He was 13 out of 16 in the regular season. He's a fine kicker.
And he used to be my favorite bartender back in Philadelphia.
Atlanta punter John James, in every attempt to stay warm, has a glove on his foot. It's going to be Butch Johnson in his own end zone, about a yard deep. The reverse goes to Thomas Henderson. Oh, he got a super block on the other side of the field. He slipped down and he might have hurt himself.
He got a good block, and I don't believe a clip is being called. Remember that, the opening play of Super Bowl 10, if I recall.
With Henderson then.
And Henderson came all the way over the 50 that time against Pittsburgh.
Almost broke it.
Looks like he might be limping a little bit. They nicked him.
In fact, in that game, Girella, the kicker, had to make the tackle on Henderson. They might meet again. But first, Atlanta presents a small problem.
And you know something? The fakes didn't get rid of many people, did they? They went right over and made the tackle.
Ernie Jackson shaking up just a little bit for the Atlanta team. Walks off slowly. Number 30. Dallas will start from its own 23. 10-10 tie. Staubach is 4 out of 11. He had a hot start, but he cooled off. 5 now. Tony Hill is driven back by Rick Bias. And way back.
Bias is 5'9", 175 out of Wayne State. And you know, when your team blitzes all the time, your cornerbacks don't have any fingernails. They're biting them off all the way to the elbow. And he and Lawrence just keep banging people.
They almost always wind up with single coverage. Not much help when you blitz a lot. Rollin Lawrence talking about covering Drew Pearson, and Tony Hill said, I'm going to be on him like a bee. Tony Hill goes in motion. They try to run the flanker trap with Dorsett carrying the ball. They've got to get a couple. Jim Bailey made the contact first.
Big Jim collapsed that play. Actually, you're absolutely right. Tony Hill came in from the flanker spot and trapped inside. We've seen it a lot with Pearson coming back the other way, but that's the first time I've seen number 80 trapping.
We've seen Butch Johnson do it a few times, too. Andy Frederick is in the Dallas lineup in place of Rayfield Wright. Or Rayfield may still be in there, and we may have 3 tight ends. That's correct. Wright is lined up as a tight end. Jackie Smith outside Rayfield. You would figure that would be the point of attack, and Dorsett lowers his head and gets the Dallas first down. Robert Pennywell, the Atlanta tackler, with help from Rick Bias, but Dorsett gets the first.
That's about the first time I've really seen him put the left shoulder down and go into a hole looking for a first down and not looking for 100. And he banged into that time.
Usually he's more of a dancer than that.
He just lowered it and got it.
Andy Frederick is at right tackle for Dallas. They operate from their own 37, and they operate with the score tied at 10-10. Staubach gets away from the blitz, gets Billy Joe Dupree. And Billy Joe stays this on his feet, gets into Atlanta territory, is stopped by Rollin Lawrence. But another first down, Dallas. Where'd he come from?
That was a great play. They actually brought the man in motion back to the bottom of the screen and made that the strong. The left side of your screen now becomes the strong side. So the fake is to that way. You can see that the linemen are taking it, and now he screens back to his tight end who's just sneaking back. And B.J. Dupree has had some kind of a year. Pro Bowl and all. That's looking forward after they get their playoff ideas gone.
9 Pro Bowlers on the Dallas team. None for Atlanta.
directorial note.
They blitz, and Dallas picks it up. The throw to Tony Hill is high. Let's go down to John Unitas.
Thank you, Pat. They're standing down here with Henderson, who hurt his ankle on the kickoff play. He seems to be all right. It's bothering him quite a little bit right now. We don't know whether he's going to get in this half or not.
Unitas looks like true grit down there. He's got... Jeff Murrow put a lot of pressure on Roger Staubach that time, and we've said it before, but when Roger is inaccurate, it's usually high.
He had an extra week's layoff. He didn't play at all against the Jets the final week of the season, and Danny White did a heck of a job. Sweep to Dorsett. First down. Tom Frightmore from the Atlanta secondary made the tackle, but Tony D cut back with more authority that time.
That time Bennett's Atlanta team was in that three-man front. Now watch what happens. Dorsett runs between Pennywell, the linebacker coming over. Watch number 59. A little bit of a block by Scott, but Dorsett doesn't need a lot. He could run in a vacuum, I'll tell you.
Down to the Atlanta 35 with 9:36 left in the first half. The score is tied at 10 apiece. That'll be Laidlaw, and this time no place to go. Robert Pennywell hit him first.
Looks like some of the blitzing has been called off by Atlanta. I would imagine the Dallas feeling was that they have to really block the linebackers. Brzezina, Pennywell, Kuykendall, or you really can't move the ball against Atlanta.
Two tight ends set up for the Cowboys with Jackie Smith lined up on the right side of the offensive line and Billy Joe Dupree on the left. Drew Pearson split out wide to the right. Staubach looked for him. Still has time to look. Ooh, Billy Joe Dupree had been standing out for a long time with Rick Bias, and Staubach almost waited too long.
Oh, the offensive line allowed Roger to look first to Drew Pearson, who ran a short out to the left of your screen from the eye. Watch how long he reloads it, about 4 times, and safety valves it to the tight end that was lined up as the split left receiver.
And Bias had a chance perhaps to cut in front of BJ and take off.
Falcons only have 12 interceptions because they're so busy playing man-to-man and blitz.
Preston Pearson joins Dorsett in the backfield for Dallas with Staubach. Third down. They are blitzing. Pearson had it, dropped it. They call it an incomplete pass. He almost made a remarkable catch.
I think number 89, Dupree, thought the ball was for him. They're talking it over now. From the shotgun. They call it El Shotguno down here. A little bit of pressure this time. Now watch Dupree think he's going to get it. And, of course, Pearson's going for it. I think Pearson might have drifted too far upfield. He was probably supposed to take it to the sidelines and pull it up.
Charlie Waters will hold for Raphael Septien from 48 yards out. What wind there is against Septien. He'll do well to get it there. He does with about 4 yards to spare. Raphael Septien from 48 yards out puts Dallas back in the lead, 13-10 with 7:38 left in the first half. Round 2 in the playoffs of 1978. The Falcons beat Philadelphia last week, another one of their miracle finishes. And now they're against the world champions, the defenders, the Dallas Cowboys. Denver, who played Dallas last year in the Super Bowl at the New Orleans Superdome, will not be back. They lost to Pittsburgh today.
That's Pearson.
He can go. Septien takes him out of bounds. A flag is dropped. Septien, they feel, might have used a little bit too much of a violent tackle.
I think it was unsportsmanlike. He just wrapped him across the helmet with his forearm. 10 years ago, that's the way most people tackled on the sidelines, but it's verboten. Good run back by Pearson.
We'd like to see it again. Mechanically, though, we've had some problems with our playback equipment, and we will not be able to show it to you again. We can listen to what Cal Lepore said.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 1, defense, first down.
Raphael Septien, the violator. The NFC playoffs tomorrow. Don't forget, Minnesota Vikings against Los Angeles at the Coliseum.
That's always a good matchup.
Don't forget the NFL today with Brent, Irv, and James. A draw play again to Bubba Bean, and he struggles for 4-5 before Henderson, back in the game, takes him down.
That was really a fast play. It was a draw lead with Haskell Standback going in front. Watch number 24 go in front of the drawback, Bubba Bean, number 44. Haskell goes through. Pretty good block on Larry Cole, and Van Note made sure he wasn't holding. I tell you, Atlanta's on the attack.
Bean scored the Falcon touchdown on that same play. Make it 2nd and 5. Bean again. Randy White made the tackle. Oh, the first contact, he had some help quickly.
Bubba Bean played his ball down at Texas Aggies, and his only problem in 3 years as a pro is staying together. He would get those injuries that just don't let a running back take the punishment, but today he looks like he's rather bullish.
5'11", 195. Two tight ends for Atlanta now. James Wright and the veteran Jim Mitchell. Lined up to the right side, they go away from it. Bob Brunick, the first tackler. Cliff Harris came up.
Didn't get to the line.
Bean, the
little decision here for Lehman Bennett, huh?
Bean was the Atlanta ball carrier. It would be from 48 yards if they try to go with Mazzetti, but they're not going to. George Franklin comes in.
Watch the pursuit. Short yardage. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's done.
Lehman Bennett has decided we'll go for it.
I like it.
About a foot. Let's see if they like it. Franklin will sweep right, and he'll have it. You're right, Thomas. He is a good-looking runner.
He didn't want to fumble that ball, did he? All he wanted was the first down.
D.D. Lewis, the tackler.
Here it is from the eye, the toss back. Bubba Bean out in front. Van Note, the center, gets out very quickly for a guy just snapped the ball, makes a good block, and both arms around the hog bladder. Boy, I like to see a coach gamble. Happy hand grenades. It's a big day for him.
And a first down at the Dallas 27. Dallas leads 13-10. Bartkowski swings out to his left. He's got his man. Wallace Francis spins around. He goes out of bounds by Benny Barnes.
All week long, we've been hearing criticism of Bartkowski's movement in the pocket. He's not agile. He's too big. He's 6'4". You're looking at a man that's very agile. Wallace Francis, the short out. Now the problem begins with him. 89 can fly.
He is very quick.
Well, watch this throw by number 10 moving to his left. This is the Bartkowski that we've never seen before. Confident and throwing it on the dead run. That's a good throw.
Steve Bartkowski. The goal and the hope when he was drafted by the Falcons, and until this year, all those hopes have been a little bit futile. Bubba Bean stopped by Larry Cole, but he might have another Atlanta first down. He's very close.
Pretty good little move by Bubba right in the hole. It was sealed off by Cole and Henderson, and he just sort of did almost a skateboard move right between them. guy will let go.
The measurement says Falcons do have it.
By 3/4 of a football.
Bean has 9 carries for 45 yards. Only one runner this year has gained over 100 yards against this Dallas defense. That was Chuck Foreman.
And Fran threw the ball so many times that night for Minnesota, you didn't realize that Foreman was getting 100, did you?
Nope. Steve Bartkowski finds himself with a first down at the Dallas 17. And is going to throw on first down. Got his man. Touchdown, Wallace Francis. Charlie Waters on the coverage, but the Falcons are back on the scoreboard again.
Francis will catch the ball in traffic. Last week, of course, he catches the big touchdown to beat Philadelphia late. This time he sliced right between Benny Barnes and I believe it was Waters. Watch this throw, folks. The man from California has arrived. That's a Hummer. Boy, what a catch. It was Cliff Harris, not Charlie Waters and Benny Barnes.
Mazzetti hits again. It's the Falcons now 17, the Cowboys 13. With 4 minutes, 26 seconds left to play in the first half, Falcons look tough. Bartkowski again.
Good blocking on Harvey Martin. They kept 79 out of there. The throw just barely does split the safety man and Charlie Waters. Benny Barnes was not involved in that play.
Mazzetti. Line drive to Witz Johnson, who drops it. Atlanta will have it. The Falcons recover. Ball is still loose. Safety, I believe, or is it touchback?
They're signaling a safety, I believe. Let's see if he gets his hands up above his head on the hat.
Bruce Huther struggled back into the end zone, and it will be an Atlanta safety.
That ball looked like something on Hollywood on Halloween night. Watch this thing move. That is a muff. But watch the action as the ball is first hit by Falcons. Still loose, and remember that's an artificial turf just like your living room rug, and they are still struggling for it.
There it goes off to the right, and that's Huther, number 57, who recovers it. The impetus of the ball took it into the end zone. The officials have ruled, and it is not a safety.
I thought that was a touchback signal, but all the Falcons were jumping up and down.
A couple of them signaled touchdown. Score is still the same as it was. Sorry. 17-13 Atlanta. Fumble. Well, I'll wait this time. Yes, Atlanta does have it.
And look at Bennett very calmly talking to Bartkowski about the next series. Fumble number 13 for Tony Dorsett. Here it is from the eye. He is really moving, but he's got to put that ball away. And the word's out. Don't hit him once, hit him twice. Here comes that pellet.
And Pridemore will get it, number 27. Greg Brazina knocked it loose from Dorsett, and Pridemore recovers. Atlanta first down at the Dallas 30. Bubba Bean swings to the outside, has almost another Atlanta first down before Cliff Harris takes him down, and these Falcons have shocked everybody.
Now watch the left part of your screen and see if Randy White, number 54, stands up. He does, and Scott turns him outside, and that's about the fourth good play that Atlanta's poured through that hole. Randy at about 6'3.5" has to look around sometimes. You're right, he might be a lot concerned.
2nd and 1, 9 yards for Bean. At the Dallas 21 with 3:20 left to play in the first half as Bean struggles for a couple. He should have the first down. He does. D.D. Lewis tackled him.
Crowd is very quiet, and even the cheerleaders have on jogging suits. It's cool, and right now the Cowboys are backed up against it.
They're cool at the moment. Somehow it doesn't seem the same, does it?
It sure doesn't. Don't blame them.
No. It's got to be down in the 20s now. It was dropping a couple of degrees an hour earlier in the day. Francis goes out of backfield in motion, leaving Bubba Bean the lone setback. And Bean vaults to about the 12. Cliff Harris hit him underneath.
This is the defense that allowed people only about 107 yards per game. And they played some tough people. And right now, Atlanta is going inside where they live and doing the job. There's Van Note going through on the linebacker. And Bubba Bean is really running with that reckless abandon you hear about. Look at this. And he held the ball.
5-yard pickup will make it 2nd and 5 at the 13-yard line. Bartkowski takes advantage of the 2-minute notification to both benches to come over and talk with Lehman Bennett. Tom Landry will get that message too, and he'll talk to 2 members of his defense who are confused by Atlanta right now. Dallas has 10 first downs. Atlanta has 10.
Bartkowski is 5 for 7 for 59 in the touchdown. And Wallace Francis has 4 catches for 37 yards already.
And a 2nd down situation. Dallas 13. Don't forget at the half highlights of the Denver-Pittsburgh game on the NFL Today, as well as highlights of this game with Brent and Irv and James. Bean hit by Henderson. He got a couple. Looked like he might break it for a second.
Boy, Henderson moved so quickly at the point of attack that time. Everybody talks about hard hitters, and I think Henderson's one of the best because he gets in position so he can unload. He's a lot like a fighter. If you're reaching for people with the arms and all, there's no way you can stick him, and Hollywood moves the feet very quickly.
By the way, Tom, NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle is going to be on with Brent and Irv and Jane at the half, and we'll have a live report from Los Angeles, where Minnesota plays the Rams tomorrow. Bartkowski calls a timeout and comes over to chat with the Atlanta coaching staff. The Falcons lead the Cowboys 17-13. A new look sports spectacular, 1979. The Falcons and the Cowboys involved in a spectacular at Texas Stadium in Dallas right now. Haskell Stanback gets the good yardage before Thomas Henderson stops him, but it's enough for an Atlanta first down.
I'll tell you, Big Mike Ken, the rookie from Michigan, and Scott and Van Note, we underestimated their abilities when we said they might be holy, and they are moving Harvey Martin and company out of there. Watch the left part of your screen. Right on through, Scott goes on Randy White, and then cuts him as he goes by. Van Note's out in front after snapping the ball. Bubba Bean has taken a block for Haskell Stanback. Atlanta's on the move again.
They have it 1st and goal at the Dallas 6.5-yard line. Danny White was loosening up a minute ago over by the Dallas bench.
You know, Lehman Bennett said something that I thought was rather interesting in all the newspapers and out loud yesterday at the press conference. Lehman said our only secret is togetherness. When we lost Claude Humphrey, a great player, we said we got to play tougher in other areas. And when we lost Bryant, our big offensive tackle, he said we got to be tougher. We got to play together. And he is really some kind of a young coach. I can see how you'd want to play like gangbusters for him.
The fella standing on his left was the Atlanta quarterback the last time these two teams met 2 years ago when Atlanta won 17-10. That's Scott Hunter. And his attitude, he hasn't thrown a pass or played it down all year long. Yet he's just as happy as he can be.
Boy,
to be a part of it.
And now these Bulls doing a job up front against what many people think is the best defense in football.
1:21 left in the first half. And it's Atlanta 17, Dallas 13. And Atlanta should come away with no less than 3 out of this. First down. George Franklin tries to cut back, and they cut him off. But he still manages to whirl around for 2.
Harvey Martin came all the way from the offside, and now we're going to get a hurry up as the clock continues.
Falcons have one more timeout left. They'll operate from the 5. Bartkowski going, and he had his man, Wallace Francis. He had the ball just for a second and dropped it.
Benny Barnes was in his wake. Did a pretty good job of getting a hand. What's the right part of your screen? The quick slant. 3 steps and right over the top. Francis almost had control of that.
Bartkowski did something that froze Cliff Harris for a second, and he couldn't get over in time to help. Landry obviously very concerned.
They've got the nickel-looking defense. Randy Hughes just came in, number 42. They're anticipating pass again.
Be a good time for draw play, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Bartkowski looking and throwing high, just barely tipped. Intended for Wallace Francis, and Mark Washington barely got a hand on it.
It was high, but Francis at 5'10", about 185 pounds, can jump straight up. Great play by Mark Washington. He got part of it.
And Mazzetti will come in to hold, to kick with John James, number 6, to hold. It is 8 out of 9 from this range. It's the Atlanta Falcons 20, Dallas 13. In a very, very surprising first half of football at Texas Stadium. The Falcons ahead by 7. Mazzetti will kick off, and deep for Dallas will be Butch Johnson and Larry Brinson. You saw the story of the Atlanta scoring drive. They lead 2013. Thank you, folks.
That was taken from some stadium earlier in the day, I think.
Yes. Mazzetti's kickoff will be handled this time by Larry Brinson. Cleanly. He bounces out to about the 26. He is hit by Bob Glazebrook. Don't forget to stay with us for that group at the half. Jane is the one on the left.
And that helmet belongs to one of the Cowboys, right?
One of them does. They do quite a job, don't they?
You think the Cowboys might be a little conservative and just go into halftime and try to regroup?
Nope. I think he'll unload it in the direction of Tony Hill. Shotgun formation. Billy Joe Dupree shifts back off the line of scrimmage. Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts left. Here comes the red blitz. Pearson had it and dropped it. It's called incomplete. Roland Lawrence picked it up.
And Roger Staubach is down. I think Famuino or maybe a blitzing linebacker got him.
He is hurting. Flag is lying right under his right arm. The red wave from Atlanta's defense took him down. Let's see if we can see what happened.
See if it's the linebacker Pennywell or Famuino. Famuino's that big man right over the middle, and they're stunning.
Famuino's 74.
74. It's Pennywell, all right, the linebacker. Third-year man out of Grambling. Stuck him when the ball was a long way out of the quarterback's hand. And Lawrence did a heck of a job on Pearson at this end, too.
Dallas Dr. Knight looking on, and Tom Landry, of course. His face showing his concern.
Danny White would imagine would be up warming up, and he did quite a job against the Jets on a windy day, huh?
They walk it off against Atlanta, and Danny White walks onto the field. He's been warming up already. There he is.
Arizona State just waiting a chance to play. This is not the way he would like to enter the game, obviously, with number 12 down. Watch this Lawrence at 5'10". He's got 6 interceptions, and I'll tell you, he's been going after Cowboys all afternoon.
Staubach is still on his back. Cowboys have 2 timeouts left now. Falcons still have 1. 38 seconds left in the first half. Atlanta 20, Dallas 13.
was a real late charge by the linebacker. Obviously, when you're blitzing like that, you continue your charge, but that was a long time after the arm had come through.
Roger up in the sitting position now, which is encouraging, to say the least. The doctor on the right side of the picture is Dr. Knight.
Couldn't tell exactly where the contact was. Was it in the rib cage?
Looked like it. Right in the middle of the rib cage.
He's having trouble getting up, too.
Rogers, a competitor who keeps himself in excellent physical condition, but he is 36 years old.
And Pennywell weighs about 225.
And had a long run at him. Looks like it could be on his left side, possibly his left shoulder. We'll find out as soon as we can.
Danny White is 20 of 34. 1 interception and no touchdowns, not yet.
White is a good quarterback. Pearson stays on his feet down the far sideline.
This is Pearson's 3rd catch of the day. Again, that's a blind snap by Fitzgerald, handled beautifully by Danny White. Looks like he's been in there a long time. Here's the move by Pearson. Just caught the white line. The official looking right down the rail at him.
Rick Bias made the contact with him and took him out of bounds, but he did get a first down for the Cowboys.
Danny White has a nice fluid motion,
Yes,
doesn't he?
sir. That decision to let him play that last game against the Jets might turn out to be a real stroke of luck. By Roland Lawrence. He sidearmed that one a little bit.
He's from Little Tabor College out in Kansas. Everybody at that school must be watching Lawrence right now.
Roger Staubach is behind that group over there, headed for the locker room, it looks like, and being helped.
That locker room is just about like a municipal hospital, too. They'll find out and be able to treat him better than anybody. The out move, the ball sort of telegraphed, and Lawrence playing good man-to-man.
That's Roger in the middle. He's walking better than he was.
Crowd seems a little angry.
Danny White sort of sidearmed that last throw a little bit, so it'll be 2nd and 10. 28 seconds left to go in the first half. Atlanta leads Dallas 20-13. Caught by Billy Joe Dupree on his knees. Should be close to Dallas first down.
And I mean, White drilled that one.
Frank Reed a little bit slow getting up for Atlanta. Dallas uses a timeout.
His right arm may have gotten caught in the collision. Dupree at 6'4", 225. Reed at 5'11", about 185.
Moriarty goes in to replace Reed.
White drops this one down a little bit too, but he does hum this one. Didn't look at the rush. Dupree's a good target.
Still haven't gotten any report on Roger Staubach. Something has happened to our communications with the Dallas officials. About a 3-inch need for a Dallas first down.
Rosina's checking with the defensive coaches as to what to anticipate. Pass, I would imagine.
21 seconds left to go in the first half, with Atlanta leading by 7, 20-13. Lehman Bennett said he figured it would take at least 23 points to win. He's got 20.
It'll be some defensive second half.
Danny White is the Dallas quarterback. Roger Staubach has been injured. They're coming again. White just barely struggles to get it back. Falcons have it. He didn't get it back.
And the blitz came from everywhere. I believe Dewey McClain recovered that ball, the linebacker. Kuykendall Pennywell, everybody. Watch them come down. They've got a 4-yard run at the line of scrimmage. That's Kuykendall, Captain Crazy from UCLA, really causing the problem. McLean goes right under to get it.
The report on Roger Staubach is that he was knocked out by that blow from Pennywell and is still a little bit woozy. They've taken him to the locker room already, and they're checking. The fumble was not really Danny White's fault. The snap was low. Bartkowski going deep. Almost picked off by Randy Hughes. That was the play that beat New Orleans.
That's right, shades of New Orleans. Bartkowski really hums this. You can see all 3 receivers, and they're looking for volleyball action. Hughes makes the ball is still alive there. Almost intercepted by, I believe Charlie Waters had a hand on it once.
It was Alfred Jackson that got the rebound in the victory over New Orleans, and he was in the same spot on that play that he was when they scored against the Saints.
I tell you, for a conservative offense, they're sort of airing it out.
Speaking of New Orleans, we'd like to congratulate Archie Manning, who was selected as the NFC's Player of the Year this year.
Couldn't happen to a better person.
Again, same play. This time it is pickoff by Randy Hughes. Dallas has the football, and Hughes might have landed in a position to knock the wind out of him.
Here it is. It's called wing formation left, and keep it alive.
Hughes landed on that artificial surface, which is very hard, on his back, and it knocked the wind out of him. And Easton Reeves, who's the offensive coordinator for Dallas, been to the locker room, obviously, and Roger Staubach will not be back. We don't know how severely hurt he is, but he will not play in the second half.
So number 11, Danny White, will play in the second half.
Right.
I got some stats, and you're not going to believe this. For a team that only averages about 103 yards rushing, 97 rushing for Atlanta in the first half. Dallas had 81, but the 4 turnovers, actually 4 fumbles and 3 turnovers. Even Dallas can't play with that kind of a margin, huh?
Raphael stepped in, kicked off to Tom Pridemore, who heads back to the middle of the field for a while. Penalty marker goes down for Dallas. Guy Brown made the stop.
There have been 3 sacks on Bartkowski, but actually the right side of the defensive line, talking about Randy White and Harvey Martin, has been rather silent.
A clip against Atlanta.
Here it is, right in the middle. You'll see the clip on number 36 on Brinson, I believe.
That's correct. Roger Staubach will not be back in today's action. It'll be Danny White, the Dallas quarterback. If he should go down, they have Glenn Carano.
Clipping 45 on the return. It's a first down.
Moriarty.
Now we'll see if the Dallas defense is going to get it going. If number 72 decides to turn on, the entire defensive platoon will turn on.
Atlanta leads 20-13. Touchdown by Bubba Bean. Touchdown by Francis. And this time the Dallas defenses converge quickly. Another penalty flag is down.
Might be holding, and Ed Jones that time went clear down the line of scrimmage and caught the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. He is the hot defensive man right now. You'll see Cliff Harris coming up and talking, and Brunig and everybody, and if they get it pepped up, Dallas may think they've got to win it on defense.
Atlanta looked very sharp in the first half, as the scoreboard would indicate. Al Lepore is the referee.
Holding 68. Offense, first down.
Thielman is 68. On the sidelines, Herbert Scott. And that's Roger Staubach without the helmet and without the cap.
Bartkowski's got to be very careful.
First and 17 back at the Atlanta 7. They give to Bubba Bean again. And Ed Jones, as Tom Brookshire said a minute ago, he's the hot man on defense.
I'll bet you Ernie Stautner got the entire defensive unit in one corner, and the fire and sparks flew. Look at 72. Different looking action on the line of scrimmage.
Thomas Henderson was also involved. The Cowboy report is that Staubach has a concussion, they feel, and he will not play anymore today. It's 2nd and 18 for Atlanta, back at their own 6-yard line now. And you're right, Bartkowski has got to be careful. He is. Bubba Bean gets out to about the 10, maybe the 11, before Harvey Martin submarined him.
And Randy White got into the action. Tempo is up, and Dallas looks like they're hot. Maybe they're embarrassed. And in a way, they probably think they should be embarrassed. They're the Super Bowl champions. Look at this action by 54.
They were favored by 14 points, and some people thought that wasn't enough.
Well, it's fun to go against the champion, though, you know. You can lay it all out, and if you lose, you were supposed to lose.
Everybody plays better against the champion, and that's understandable.
It's nickel defense time.
Look out. Taking no chances, it's Bartkowski. Ed Jones had a crack at him. Randy Hughes finally made the tackle. And again, a penalty marker is dropped.
Might be some holding. That was Haskell Standback, who's still on the ground.
He was the ball carrier.
What a great run, really, for not even getting the first down. It's holding again.
Think they'll refuse it?
I would imagine. And that is a signal that the Dallas defensive line is coming off.
And the crowd senses it. You can tell that already. Whole afternoon in Dallas.
Haskell's hurt.
85. Offense, penalty decline, 4th down.
Holding call against Alfred Jackson. As we thought they might. The Cowboys refused the penalty, and John James is already in the game. Haskell Standback is being helped off the field.
Boy, he's been a great ball carrier out of Tennessee. First at Cincinnati, and he came down to Atlanta, and he does everything that Lehman Bennett asked him to do.
Give you an indication of how well Atlanta played in the first half. John James punted only one time. And that one was dropped by Butch Johnson, and the Falcons got it back.
James had one punt block this year.
That's Butch Johnson, the lone safety man for Dallas. John James back at his own goal line, or maybe at about the 1. Atlanta ahead by a touchdown in the 3rd quarter. See if they try to block it. They look like they might be serious about it, don't they?
They're thinking about it.
A lot of jumping around, and here they come. Line drive kick to Butch again. This time he gets around Moriarty. But the rest of the Atlanta Falcons are there very quickly. Dewey McClain took him out of bounds.
Do they cover punts and kickoffs? The Atlanta Crazies went after Butch Johnson and got him.
13 minutes and 2 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Atlanta ahead 20-13.
Danny's father was an All-American at Arizona State, and Mr. White, your son has a problem, but he's a good football player.
Dallas first down at the 49-yard of Atlanta. Tony Dorsett maybe got 2 as he sipped it into the middle. He was hit by Jeff Yates.
Dorsett went into that carry with 21 yards, so you might give him a couple, give him 23 yards on 6 carries. For a guy that had 1,325 and a 4.6 average, looks like the Falcons have laid the defense on, too.
Dallas offensive line is the one that started. Rayfield Wright back at right tackle, and right now Burton Wallace is the guard next to him. Landry shuffles his guards in order to get the plays in. And White is hit just as he throws. Kenneth Drew Pearson picked off by Rollin Lawrence. White was rocked by the Atlanta defense just as he let it go.
I believe it was Edgar Fields, number 77. Pick up and see where the rush came from the left. He took the inside. Donovan never had a chance. Lawrence gets interception number 7. It's a biggie.
White seems to be okay. first down. They lead 20-13. 12-16 left in the third quarter. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire, and we're watching an inspired Atlanta team. Dallas changes their defense. They wind up with Charlie Waters playing cornerback.
Ooh.
Randy White made the tackle.
Cliff Harris overran it. Again, you don't see Harris miss 2 open field tackles almost in the whole season, but he's just missed 2 in this game. But Bartkowski's in a lot of trouble down here.
2nd and 5. George Franklin checks into the Atlanta backfield. He and Bubba Bean operating together now. Standback was shaken up a little bit. Steve Bartkowski, watch it. Waters almost picked it off. Intended for George Franklin. That was the hands of Steve Bartkowski that we were looking at close up before.
Scouting reports say he flexes his hands nervously until he's getting ready to get the snap and then gets firm with it. And some defensive linemen claim they can go ahead and jump the barrier and take him on when he stops those hands from moving.
Not have to worry about linemen moving and reacting to movement on the other side just when he stops. They might get a little jump on the gun.
They don't need much of an edge.
It's 3rd down. Haskell Standback has recovered from whatever was wrong with him. And he gets the... Nope, Bubba Bean got the carry. On 3rd down. And they'll have to punt again.
And Harvey Martin came down the line behind Randy White. Watch to your left. Bubba makes one move and has no more time. 79 suddenly is alive.
And you get in a situation like this, that of course is Tom Landry, and you think about the Atlanta philosophy, you have to be very careful that you don't all of a sudden become too conservative, because it can lose what you had going for you.
What's the stance on this punter, James? He's got both feet parallel, doesn't he?
He says the reason for that is if the snap is bad, he can go either direction quickly. Or backwards. This one they do not try to block, and James hangs it high. Butch handles it. And again, the Atlanta coverage is down there in excellent shape. Paul Reisick, who snaps the ball on the punch, was the leader.
They hold punt returners to 5.4 yards a shot. They've done it all year.
Tomorrow night on CBS, 60 Minutes, All in the Family. Alice, Kaz, New Year's Eve with Guy Lombardo's Royal Canadian.
And Alice is tough, you know. Flo can't find a date for New Year's Eve, and that hurts me a little bit.
Special guest on the Guy Lombardo show will be Cab Calloway, Heidi Ho, and Kelly Garrett. First down, Dallas at their own 46. Dorsett swings in motion to the right. Laidlaw takes the pitch back. Gets around to the outside, almost breaks loose. Gets about 5. Tom Pridemore stopped him.
Good block by Rayfield Wright. I can't break that guy's code.
Let's go down and see if John Unitas is frozen yet.
Little update report on Roger Staubach. He is feeling a little bit better. He is quite nauseated and doesn't recall too much of what's going on at this time. The Atlanta Falcons appear to be going away from the game plan of the short, quick, tight passes and going for the deep stuff. Right now, the momentum seems to have turned around for the favor of Dallas.
All right, John, thank you. Nobody was better in a situation like this than one John Unitas.
That's the truth.
2nd and 5. Laidlaw again. The ball carrier is tackled by Fulton Kuykendall.
Kuykendall is something. Dick Vermeil coached him at UCLA and said his IQ is near genius. They call him Captain Crazy, but he really isn't. He plays under control and loves it. But he can really tackle. There's Roger. He's walking a little bit better now all the time. He's probably clearing those cobwebs, huh?
He really took a hit from Pennywell. 9:19 left to play in the third quarter. And Atlanta holds on to that lead. The throw is to Drew Pearson. In a clutch situation, 88 is the man they look for.
Is he classy, though? Watch the way Mr. Pearson gets the feet down before he goes out. Nureyev couldn't have done it any better. And he's there.
Rick Bias is number 38 for Atlanta that pushed him out of bounds. Watch that move again. 20. Dallas 13. Tony Hill wide to the right. Lou Pearson again split wide to the left. Laidlaw moves. White this time should have a lot of time. And does for Tony Hill. Almost had it, but a great defensive play by Rollin Lawrence. Got the hand in just at the right time.
All right, he has no fear to go for the ball. Hill is going to complain, but all receivers do that. Super coverage by the cornerback. At 5'10", he covered one of the best young athletes in the NFL. Coming right at you now. It's a good throw. And boy, this is a great defensive play.
Lawrence is from Tabor College.
That's out in Kansas. 5,000 people screaming right now as they watch 22 do this.
He's 5'10", 179 pounds, a 6-year veteran. It'll be second and 10, Dallas. And again, White rolls left, rolls right, finds Bennett, no reprieve. The big tight end rolls inside the 20 to the 17. Rollin Lawrence again made the tackle. Thomas Henderson.
He's going back in.
And we're going to get him, he said.
Great play by Danny White. He rolls out and throws it on the run. Waits for Dupre to clear. Good throw. 89 cuts it up. Dallas is moving.
And Danny White exhibits what a marvelous athlete he is.
Away from the rush. Back to the big tight end. He's got hands like suitcases, Dupre does.
Dallas has the football at the Atlanta 17. They're on the move. Dorsett started in motion by Danny White, who again rolls to his right, throws back left. Laidlaw has it with blockers in front. To the 10. To the 3. Down at the 2. Fulton Kuykendall finally got him.
And a good offensive series. Good call by Danny Reeves upstairs and Landry on the sidelines. It's called a screen away. You sprint over to the right. He just threw off the run here. And you throw back to Laidlaw. And now you watch the pattern. That's Rayfield Wright, topside, getting one.
Donovan. Laidlaw at one time was completely on the ground, lying down. And he got back up and got back into the screen. That's good execution and good coaching.
Good faking, too.
First and goal, Dallas. At the Atlanta 2. Danny White rolling right. And closing it. Touchdown. Jackie Smith.
The 16-year veteran catches 2 passes for Dallas, both of them today, and he's keeping the game ball.
This crowd is now going wild.
And Danny White had a lot to do with this. Good fake to Laidlaw. There's Jackie. Does he get him down? You betcha, man. He did take that ball to the bench with him.
His first Dallas touchdown. Septien hits it. Tie game. .707 left in the third quarter. It's Atlanta 20, Dallas 20. What a contest we've got. The offensive drive for the Cowboys that took them that distance and tied this game at 20-20. Jackie Smith, touchdown pass from Danny White. Tom Pridemore takes the line drive kickoff and has it in good shape and almost broke it out to the 40. It was George Franklin, I'm sorry, it was not Pridemore. And again, a penalty flag is down.
Pat Steele and the Atlanta Falcons got into a shoving match right at midfield. It's time for the Atlanta offense to get in gear for the second half.
Lehman Bennett watching the happenings against Dallas.
Pat Steele must have started it.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 82, and defense, the first down.
That's Robert Steele. I'm sorry, did I say Pat Steele? Pretty good offensive move for Atlanta, huh?
They have the ball at the Dallas 45. Jim Mitchell, the tight end, is split out wide to the left. Two speed receivers, Moore and Francis on the right. Bartkowski now goes back to work. And Ed Jones swarms.
Sack number 4, but remember, number 72 is the signal. When he turns on, they all come. The right part of your screen, he won't be alone back there. Harvey Martin came over and told Bartkowski, we're here.
Loss of 9. Too tall is number 72.
It's even fast in slow motion.
Dallas 20, Atlanta 20. 6.5 minutes left, third quarter. Second and 19. Now let's see what happens. Bartkowski fires and has the ball ricochet off the fingertips of Alfred Jackson. The ball is there.
Jackson did a hang-around job. He's had 4 catches for over 50 yards. He's the sprinter from Texas. But look at the rush on number 10. This time he throws sort of a screwball and it flutters and hangs, and Alfred just couldn't stand around long enough to catch it.
You better go.
Dave Stalls is number 65. Perhaps you saw him in the Dallas rushing unit. They use everybody. Third and 19.
How
Jackson.
conservative do you play now?
Jackson comes out to the right. You play with George Franklin, your ball carrier. Here's popped from the side by Randy White. One that he'll remember for a while, although he gets right up. 2-year running back from Texas A&I.
Franklin almost went to the wrong bench.
I think he was just checking the number of the guy who decked him. The defense gets the hand from the crowd. Butch Johnson standing back at his own 10, and John James will kick for Atlanta.
Pat, he has kicked 25 out inside the 20. He is very good at kicking it out.
Averaging today 44 yards. Cowboys again do a lot of shifting and running around, looking for a place to rush. Atlanta starts to move and shuffle, and Isaac just waits. Another high, good kick from James. Goes into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20, where Dallas will take over with Danny White as their quarterback. If you joined us late, Roger Staubach is out. Knocked down by Pennywell in the second quarter. They say he has a concussion. He won't play anymore. It's 20-20 in Dallas. The Houston team was staying at the same hotel we were. If you have any ideas about them not being big and impressive, change them, because they're huge.
And they want Notre Dame pretty bad.
That'll, of course, be on CBS. Lindsey Nelson and Paul Hornung. Dorsett squirms around for 4 or 5, more than he should have gotten, perhaps. Tom Pridemore finally took him down, but he got maybe 8 before he got through.
I thought I saw 3 or 4 Falcons going for the football there as he was making the spin. Here's Kuykendall moving over, shifting into it. Lawrence gets some. Kuykendall gets a little. You have to get about 5 on Dorsett. Once he breaks that line of scrimmage, get help.
Talking before the game to Kurt Mosier, who was on the Atlanta staff, not coaching staff, administrative staff, and he said, we think that really our best chance would be brought about if we can get the Cowboys to fumble it. And they've had 5 turnovers. Dorsett again. He rolls for a Dallas first down. Edgar Fields made the tackle, but number 33 has got it in high gear.
Looked like Rafferty and company did a good job on the right side. Watch them seal off Rayfield. And notice when Dorsett runs, the head does not bob. There's no extra motion. It's a glide.
Good block by Herbert Scott, the pulling guard, too. He's finally getting some of the recognition that we thought he deserved for a long time. Scott. They didn't put the warm-ups on the posters. White throws. Tony Hill has it. Not out of bounds yet. And Hill is in Atlanta territory to the 42. Kuykendall got him down.
All the way from the linebacking spot, and it's a good thing he came out. Bias gets caught. Watch the left part of your screen. Let's see how the blocking was on this. Dorsett seals off a blitzing linebacker. The shirt just won't get the job done. Bias goes out of bounds, and Thrill Hill stays in. Here comes Kuykendall. Boy, that's pursuit.
Danny White is now 7 out of 10 since he replaced Staubach. First down, Cowboys at the Atlanta 43. Fake Dorsett. Protection is good, and Hill is just overthrown. He was wide open. He had won his battle.
And Bias had no safety help at all. He was all by himself. Pretty good pass action here. Watch the play action now, the fake by White. He's going to remember this one if this game goes the other way. Here's Hill. He's got Bias on the outside, and no safety man shows up. Just beyond.
I think he should have had some help from somewhere because they weren't blitzing.
Pridemore is a rookie that's playing the safety spot.
Danny White now 7 out of 11 for 95. Will throw again and does outside Billy Joe Dupree. Ball is loose. It's Dallas ball. They say that Dupree was the last with possession.
Bias knocked that out. I talked about the size of Dupree's hands. This time he didn't put the ball away. It's just a turnout, anticipating the blitz. I believe that was Pridemore that forced the fumble.
Hit him, yeah. And Bias had a chance to play. Race picked up a friend.
I'm not so sure he wants it.
His name is Rainbow. 3rd and 4. They're coming. Hill has it. And is pushed out of bounds by Rick Bias. But it's another Dallas first down. Boy, you really have to be impressed with Danny White. Steve Bartkowski loosening up.
White is now 8 for 12 for 101 yards. And the big one, he just didn't quite lay in there.
He gets rid of it quick, doesn't he?
The quick out. Tony Hill. And you know what Gil Brandt told me, their scout, the head scout, that Hill runs better with a uniform on than he does just in track gear.
That's a plus. Here's Dorsett swinging behind Rafferty. Gets 2 or 3 before Edgar Fields and Jeff Burrow make the tackle for Atlanta. 20-20 tie with 1:50 left in the 3rd quarter. The ball's at the 28.
Pat, that's the darndest replay. If Sandy Grossman, our director, can get it up, all 11 red shirts end up right over on Tony Dorsett. Well, I don't think we had that replay, but I've never seen a whole defensive team get into it like that.
So it's 2nd down for the Cowboys. What a play. White, they say that Dorsett has the ball, but the officials say that White was down on the ground as a result of contact. So they'll bring it back.
That's big. Edgar Fields, number 77, I think, that made contact. He and Kuykendall. I thought Danny White was still up when he threw the ball. We're behind the formation. We ought to be able to see it here. Here's Kuykendall on the blitz. Got him by the foot. The left knee's down, too, with ball in hand.
He was down.
Officials don't miss very many, do they, over a course of 16-game schedule and playoffs?
3rd down. Kuykendall gets the sack. And that's the first one for the Falcons. Weston Pearson in the game. That sack by Kuykendall also took him out of field goal range. From the shotgun, and they blitz everybody. Again, they're throwing for Hill. Just overthrown. Just a bit.
Two cornerbacks converge. Again with the total blitz. You've got three guys back there that are really tearing their hair out. White just let him over. There's Hill running the inside. There's Bias on the right. Lawrence on the left.
They got him turned around. And twice, he's been very close to 6. And Danny White has missed him. Danny White will now perform his other act.
They'll keep him honest this time, I'm sure.
They'll have somebody making sure that he doesn't run out of punt formation. He's going for the corner. Into the end zone and back out. Touchback.
Bartkowski breathes a little bit.
Let's go down to John Unitas on the sideline.
Okay, you're looking at a team that everyone says a miracle football team. They're not a miracle football team today. They played Dallas off their pants the first half, and they have the confidence right now that they go out and beat them the rest of the afternoon.
All right, John.
First down for the Atlanta Falcons, and Dallas blitzes this time. Haskell stand back, gets outside, and will have an Atlanta first down. Charlie Waters chased him.
I believe Jim Mitchell got the big block, the tight end. Mitchell took Harvey Martin to the right of your screen inside and worked him right in and jammed the linebackers that were blitzing, Patrick. Stanback came back rather well, didn't he?
Yes, he was shaken in the first half.
Bartkowski is now 5 of 13 for 59 at a pretty rough third period.
Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Texas Stadium, where the Falcons and the Cowboys are tied at 20 apiece. Bartkowski had a man open. It was almost picked off. It is. That's Aaron Kyle who got the rebound. Shades of the Super Bowl. They did the same thing in that game. Penalty markers down back by the Atlanta offense. Interception that was not Bartkowski's fault. The penalty was against Atlanta. Dallas refuses, and Atlanta player is hurt.
What a play by Cliff Harris deep. He kept the ball alive, and the #1 draft from Wyoming came out with it. Boy, they were looking for the long throw, and this time Bartkowski tried to split it. It's about a 15-yarder in between. Harris dives for it. Watch him keep this one alive. Here comes Kyle out with it.
Intended receiver was Alfred Jackson. Jim Myers, Danny White, and Tom Landry. Jim Mitchell is the injured Falcon, and Bartkowski talks with Lehman Bennett.
Mitchell has been some good tight end for a long time, hasn't he, from Prairie View?
Strong.
Great blocker. Lost some of the speed a little bit.
Caught the big touchdown pass last week against Philadelphia. One of the two. I asked some of the Atlanta people how he got so open on that pattern against the Eagles last week, and they said he just ran a good pattern. That's all there was to it. First down, Dallas at the Atlanta 41. Tied at 20-20. Dupree on the end around. Breaks one tackle. Still on his feet. Billy Joe Dupree. They can't get him down. Edgar Fields finally did, but Billy Joe looked like a runaway truck.
And that's the second time he's carried the football this year. Not a bad average, BJ. Makes a good cut. You're right.
He broke out of the grasp of Roland Lawrence. That's the end of the third quarter with the score Atlanta 20, Dallas 20. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Saturday. Natural enemies. Receiver on the right, secondary man on the left. This is for the next pass it's thrown.
Nothing abnormal about that.
Just normal action.
First down, Dallas at the Atlanta 20. One more quarter to play, at least. Danny White, the Dallas quarterback. He has Scott Laidlaw and Tony Dorsett. Fumble. Dorsett gets it back. Goes out of bounds, but about a 7-yard gain.
Laidlaw, I think, came across with a fumble, but nobody else but 33 makes that move. O.J. Simpson, yes. Gale Sayers, yes. Maybe Ollie Matson, yes. Watch this move. Right in between blockers. Watch the spin. You just can't teach that one, folks. You can learn to be more careful with the football, however.
Frank Reed is the one who caused the fumble, and Laidlaw, you're right, did get it back. It wasn't Dorsett.
Did you see that move?
I saw it. I don't know how they did it. He got 5. Second and 5 at the Atlanta 15, and Laidlaw has the carry to the 14. Septien should be loosening about right now.
Lewis at sealing down. When I think of that name on the wall across there, that Bob Lilly, the great cowboy, played 14 seasons and never missed a game with that kind of action, I just don't know how it's done. I don't understand that.
That's the circle of honor. It contains 4 names: Chuck Howley, Don Meredith, Bob Lilly, and Don Perkins. White has it not picked off. Almost picked off by Frank Reed. But the officials say he trapped it.
Frank didn't want to give the ball back, and you can't blame him. When you're a secondary man, you just take what you can get.
They're saying it hit the ground. Reed is still objecting, and rather vigorously.
But I like the way the officials at least talked to one another very briefly and said, nope, it was incomplete. You know, the losing team has a long rest. That's the reason everybody's so hot.
We're already really in sudden death. Charlie Waters will hold. Reed still complaining. It'll be a 31-yard effort from Raphael Septien. Score is tied at 20-20. Wide right, no good.
Pick it up. It's trapped, all right. But you don't know it when you're hot and you're trying to come up with that ball.
The score remains 20-20 with 14:03 left to play. 14:03 left to play. In the fourth quarter at Dallas, or Irving, Texas, I suppose I should say, where the stadium is located. Bartkowski gives the Standback. Good-looking run. About 9 yards for Haskell Standback from Tennessee.
And again, the big rookie from Michigan, Ken, 78, got out in front of him. When they get Bryant back, this Atlanta team is going to have bookend tackles that weigh 275 apiece.
Both 6'6".
They're all young except old Van Note, who stays in the middle and blocks as well as anybody.
The statesman, they say. Speed receivers both wide left this time. Rickman, Francis, and nothing doing for Randy White, who's into the Atlanta backfield just as soon as Mike Esposito got the handoff.
Remember what Avellini told us when he and White were teammates at Maryland, that no matter if he put the red shirt on and it was dummy practice, that his own teammate just kept clobbering him every afternoon. He liked him, but he had to hit him.
To avoid being hit.
Bartkowski, by the way, is 0 for his last 7. Not for his last 7.
They need a yard for a first as the clock continues to wind down to 12:50 left to play now. 3rd and 1. Cowboys all up on the line of scrimmage. Bartkowski is going to go for it. And much more. Or he was until Larry Cole got the first hands on him. Second sack for Larry.
There he is. Larry could follow a couple of mules right across the plowed field, but I tell you, he makes the big ones. Watch 63. To the right of your screen. Big move.
You never want to fumble, but we're getting in a situation now where you really got to be careful. If you look at the sack. You might be concerned about a missing man. Brasina is sort of the captain of this unit. He blocks in front of James. He's checking things out.
Got to be careful. They got 4 seconds left.
They'll get it off. James slices it off the side of his foot. And it goes out of bounds at the 30. A very poor punt.
And a very bright play by Charlie Waters, who almost had a chance to block it, but he might have run into the kicker.
A little misunderstanding on the far side of the field.
Told you, the losers go home. It's a long winter.
The winner will either be here or be in Los Angeles next week, where we'll be. It just depends on who wins.
They tell me that the Dallas cheerleaders went to Japan on a trip. And the dollar made a big move.
We could, of course, be in Minnesota, depending on what happens. If Dallas and Los Angeles win, we would be in Los Angeles. If Minnesota beats Los Angeles tomorrow and Dallas loses to Atlanta, we'd be in Minnesota. Or we could be back here. The give is to Dorsett. To the 20. And covering up the football. There's a late hit by an Atlanta player. And the yellow flag is down.
He's going to move it inside the 10-yard line. A great run by Dorsett. And Rafferty, the Penn Stater, got out in front and did a great job.
In a situation like this is where the experience of having been in the playoff really pays off. That was a foolish mistake.
The pressure on a young team brings out that foolish mistake. You're right.
Cal Lepore is the referee.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 59, defense, first down.
Robert Pennywell is the man who hit Roger Staubach and knocked him out, and he's the man who just was called for that violation.
Here's the play. I think this one will tell its own story. We'll see the altercation late. He just ran between two people, and he is very strong. Do not be misled.
First down at the Atlanta 10. White throws to Laidlaw. Flag is down. Laidlaw keeps his balance and goes out of bounds inside the 5. Billy Joe Dupree might have jumped early.
He was tight left side receiver, and Billy Joe took the half step.
Lehman Bennett indicating take the penalty, please.
That was some move by Laidlaw on the sidelines.
Balance.
Saturday night disco.
You mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, we talked about the officials. What did you say, 91 years of NFL experience in this crew?
Stan Javi has 28.
Side 89, offense, first down.
It'll be first and 15, just outside the 15. They could possibly make the first down without scoring a touchdown.
Think he goes topside and throws it?
On first down? I think so. He gets the Laidlaw. Laidlaw to the 1. And Frank Reed stopped him, but Scott Laidlaw almost got in. 2 Atlanta players are hurt, and Herbert Scott is shaken up.
Watch 68 come over and make the trap block. Laidlaw goes outside of the hole, breaks McLean's tackle. Very clever, smart runner, and a great call on first down.
Rollin Lawrence, the Atlanta cornerback who's played so well, is the injured Falcon, or one of them. And Herbert Scott is the injured Cowboy.
Now you're above it and behind the defense. Here's the play. Supposed to go inside. Laidlaw goes outside. Remember, Newhouse is still out. He's not 100% yet, and Laidlaw's doing a good job.
Oh, super. You mentioned the game against Washington where he had 100 and some yards in the first half. That's Herbert Scott, the Cowboy guard, who left.
Laidlaw has 65 yards on 12 carries.
Second and 1 inside the 1. The Atlanta bench now attending to the wounded. Checking out the knee.
That's Lawrence on the sidelines. Atlanta needs him back at corner soon.
His place has been taken by number 30, Ernie Jackson, who is standing across the line of scrimmage now from Drew Pearson. Laidlaw and Dorsett behind Danny White. Laidlaw doesn't make it. They say he fumbled, but he didn't. Robert Pennywell made the stop, and they need about 2 inches, it appears. They could have a first down and not score, but just barely.
It looked like the hole was there. Rafferty fired out, but up over the top, Pennywell, the linebacker, met him there. He's still away, at least a foot.
The word on Herbert Scott is that he has a twisted right ankle and will probably be back.
Tell you, in the old days you'd grab grass, but this is going to be some line of scrimmage. Famuina, and there's 275. The big ones and the mean ones will line up across from that ball. Got it.
They have the first down at about the half-foot line. Lawrence, number 22 for Atlanta, up and trying to shake it off. 20-20. Cowboys and the Falcons tied with 10 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. No matter who wins, this has been some contest. Laidlaw is knocked backwards, and there is no indication that he got in. Robert Pennywell knocking him around.
Here's the linebacker. Ortega was the starter, and Pennywell went in when Ortega was hurt. And now Ortega can't get back in, and you've seen 2 good reasons why the last 2 plays. Went right up and met him right over the top. Pridemore was in there too, the rookie safety man.
There he is, 27.
59 and 27. Belly to belly and back to back.
They still need the same amount. Be surprised to see Mr. White roll with it.
And Donovan, the tight end and the tackle to your right of your screen. They get everybody down and make it fairly routine for that play.
They took him down, and Laidlaw went over the top. It's Dallas 26, Atlanta 20. Raphael Septien with a very important extra point attempt. He got it. 27-20 out of the hold of Charlie Waters. 9:46 now left to play in this game. The Atlanta Falcons have given the Cowboys everything they can handle. I told you it was... between the deep men for Atlanta and out of the end zone. And the Falcons will operate from the 20. The new look CBS Sports Spectacular, the East-West Shrine game, Duran against Brooks. Hollywood stunt competition, the NFL Cheerleader Classic. All that Saturday, January the 6th. The new look.
Roberto Duran and Monroe Brooks will be some fight to see, too.
I don't know much about Brooks. Good fighter?
Know a lot about Duran.
Yes. Good fighter. Haskell stand back, and Mike Esposito. Screen pass over the head of Too Tall Jones, and Esposito stays on his feet until he's taken down by Randy White.
That's one of those deep screens that's supposed to be behind the line of scrimmage and takes place upfield. Now watch to the right of the right of the screen, and you'll see D.D. Lewis, number 50, get right in the middle of the screen action. Somehow, ball carrier comes out the other side. That happens once in a while.
8 yards. I'll make it 7, 2nd and 3. George Franklin is taken down by Harvey Martin behind the line of scrimmage. He couldn't maintain his balance. There'll be a loss of about 4.
Martin's had that bad knee most of the year. You remember the question you asked Tom Landry yesterday?
Ask him how was Harvey, and he said he's coming along. He's not what he was, but he's getting there.
He was the MVP in the Super Bowl. He's made 3 or 4 plays in the second half when the Cowboys really needed him. Forward roll.
We'll make it 3rd and 9. Watch him come now.
Oh, boy.
Atlanta operates from their own 21. 8:15 now left to play. Bartkowski has people chasing. He almost had Billy Rickman, but he couldn't handle on. Benny Barnes on the coverage, and good coverage.
And a great play. Only as the ball touched the hands of Rickman did Barnes go through his shoulder pads. Watch the blocking up front. Scott against Randy White. I'm telling you, there's some contact. Bartkowski has really impressed me, though, moving around in the pocket.
As you said before, we've heard all week about his lack of mobility. That certainly hasn't shown today. John James back to Pickford Leonard. James gets it off. Butch Johnson has some room to operate this time and comes straight ahead. Butch to the 40. That's where Danny White's offensive unit for Dallas will start to operate. Perhaps the 41. Scoreboard clock now 8 minutes, 1 second left to play in the football game, with Dallas ahead now by 7. Very key situation here for both clubs, particularly Atlanta. 8 minutes left to play. Dallas ahead by 7, 27-20. Danny White, the Dallas quarterback, sends Pearson in motion and gives to Dorsett. He spins out of the hands of Pennywell, or the arms of Pennywell, and gets 2 or 3. Not much more than that.
I'm impressed the way Danny White's been running this multiple offense, just to put it all together in a playoff situation as the young quarterback that's watched Roger for so long. But remember, the Atlanta Falcons like the last couple of minutes of a football game.
Who could forget that after what's happened to them this year?
The whole season.
Herbert Scott is back in the game at left guard, and Rafferty and Wallace continue to alternate. 2nd and 7. Pearson trying to keep his feet in bounds and trying to watch the ball at the same time. Tipped it out. Rick Bias on the coverage. Jackie Smith was open, by the way.
In comes Preston Pearson. I guess that's something else Dallas innovated when they started getting some basketball players to play football. Cornell Green played for years here so well.
Pete Gent.
Pete Gent. And this man is phenomenal on 3rd down.
He's in the backfield, number 26, as they operate this time from the shotgun. Standing momentarily behind Danny White. Here comes the blitz. And Danny White's going to run for his life. And does. Got it out of bounds, and That was a remarkable achievement considering he had 3 men in red shirts chasing him. His intended receiver was Billy Joe Dupree.
Pridemore had a 7-yard run to the safety spot, came right up the pipe. He went by Fitzgerald, who was blocking in the line. Look at him moving up. Kuykendall, and that is some angry group. In fact, Danny White did a very, very fine job.
Look at the numbers on all 3 of those guys in the chasing him. All 50s. All linebackers.
All mean.
Danny White back to punt for Dallas. Cowboys lead the Falcons 27-20. A lot of time left, though, particularly when Atlanta is involved. He'll try to go out of bounds with it. Rickman signals for the fair catch inside the 10 at about the 8. And it's a good thing he did, because the Cowboys had good coverage down there, and they will let it bounce and down it at the 1. Normally, you wouldn't handle it inside the 10, but he had to.
You think Atlanta can come back? They're going to give it a shot.
After watching them through the year, I certainly do. Tom Landry watching his team in a real struggle. Mike Esposito broke a couple of tackles, but the referees are going to be involved in the next thing that happens because a flag is down already.
Dallas really was dropped deep that time. Cliff Harris was 18 yards to the line of scrimmage.
Holding against Atlanta is the preliminary indication.
Mitchell's back in for some blocking support, plus being the receiver.
Rickman goes back in too.
7-0 offense. First down.
Dave Scott is 7-0.
And he's been working against Randy White all afternoon.
And actually has done a pretty good job.
Oh, that's a day's work.
So Atlanta operates deep in their own territory. Back at their own 5. It'll be 1st and 15. 14 make it. Bartkowski out of the end zone. Plenty of time. What an interception by Charlie Waters. I didn't think there was any way he'd come up with that. Intended for Mitchell.
He almost had an easy one earlier and dropped it. There's some argument on the field about it. Atlanta staying with the offense.
Penalty flag is what the problem is.
One of the other receivers might have been chugged beyond that 5-yard restricting area.
You think by Cliff Harris. What a play Charlie Waters made. Out at the 10 is where they finally put the ball down.
Illegal contact, 31. Defense is a first down.
There's Benny Barnes, not Cliff Harris. Sorry, Cliff.
Let's see if we can find where Benny Barnes was, because Waters cuts under from the safety spot to make this as the roll by Bartkowski. Here's the throw. Boy, that's some play.
Here's Bubba Bean, or Haskell Standback coming out of the backfield.
Barnes went deep with the outside receiver, Rickman. That's where the contact must have taken place. Atlanta's got to get out of this hole before they can really put it up the way they'd like to.
6:20 about will be left by the time they put this ball in play. This game was a sellout, and it's still in. Nobody's left.
Oh, that's good. Oh.
That will be an Atlanta first down, and they're coming out of that hole, Tom. D.D. Lewis made the tackle.
Standback had 43 yards before. You know, he left injured. He came back all right. Woo. Took Larry Cole one way, and Randy White ran around a block, and Brunig never got a shot.
You know, Jeff Van Note must have done a good job, because we haven't called Bob Brunig's name, as I can recall, but one time today. And he is the key to that middle linebacker defense, oriented that way by Dallas.
He's got to make a lot of tackles.
Van Note, of course, is an excellent center and has been for quite some time. Falcons are out of that hole. At the 45. I think it's Wallace Francis who made the catch. It may be Alfred Jackson. It's Francis.
Francis is something. He comes across the middle, absolutely fearless. And I'll tell you, if you have a family, that's a dangerous spot against the Dallas secondary. He never even looked for anybody, and he did make some contact.
It's not all that safe, even if you don't have a family.
You're just a bachelor. You got to worry about that.
You may never have a family. Stand back, and he may have another Atlanta first down in Dallas territory. Charlie Waters made the tackle.
Van Note pulled out and got a pretty good block on Henderson, and Stanback ran outside of it again. Haskell Stanback, look at this, out of the eye. Runs outside of a good block.
When you consider what Atlanta has done this year, do not change your set. 5 times they have won games in the last 2 minutes. Twice they did it when there was no time left on the clock. Now they're hoping for a tie. Bartkowski with good time. Intended for Mike Esposito a little high.
Good blocking on the line of scrimmage. They took Ed Jones by one way and Harvey Martin by the other. Also good coverage. There was nobody open on this play. Here's the war. McKinley working on Ed Jones.
Doubling, getting help. She needs.
He's only giving away 45 pounds to Jones.
4 minutes, 8 seconds left to play. The line of scrimmage, the Dallas 47. Cowboys ahead by 7, and they come with a blitz. Mike Esposito will get the Atlanta first down. A perfect call against that defense.
Safety blitz on short yardage, and that time Atlanta won the duel.
Clock moving.
Watch number 43. Scott blocks on Randy White. Brunig's having his problem with Van Note again. First down.
Cliff Harris on the blitz ran right by the ball carrier. Obviously they were thinking pass. 3:35 now, 3:32 left. 27-20 Dallas. Bartkowski going deep. He's got a man and he overthrows him. Alfred Jackson was open.
9-3 sprinter is what he had open. The relay team at Texas. Bartkowski is impressive today too.
Yes. Very cool.
7 for 10 for 86 yards.
He had missed 7 in a row at one point, so that statistic has to be an error. Second and 10 at the Dallas 41. Bartkowski has Esposito and Stanback in the backfield. The throw is outside, intended for Dennis Pearson. One of those timed type passes. It was thrown just a little bit off time.
That might have been an audible checkoff because Henderson and Waters both blitzed. Bartkowski did not have much choice.
Aaron Kyle, the Dallas defender.
Randy Hughes came too.
Danny White has quarterbacked the Dallas Cowboys since the second quarter when Roger Staubach left with a concussion. Bartkowski now faces third down. They started back inside their own 10, and they put together a good-looking drive. Bartkowski chased. What a play to Wallace Francis, and the pass is complete.
Francis' 6th catch of the day, and a great effort by Bartkowski, but he ran out of the pocket, so there will not be any roughing the passer. Watch Ed Jones chase him out. Again, he had no choice. Now he gives himself up and throws it. Fantastic completion. Francis is always there, isn't he?
You can see that marker. He is just a little bit shy of a first down, but they got to go. It'll be 4th and a foot. Clock and stop with the out of out-of-bounds maneuver by Francis. Mike Esposito and George Franklin behind Bartkowski. You would guess Franklin. You'd guess right. Don't believe he got it.
Dallas doesn't think he did.
Their offensive unit's already on the field. It's going to be close.
3:09 left.
Close enough for them to measure. Dallas 27, Atlanta 20.
The whole Dallas team is out there on the field.
Quite a football game. I hear Whistling Ray somewhere. Dallas has it.
Wow.
Couple of first downs is what the Cowboys need now to preserve this tough victory over Atlanta. If indeed they can. They lead by 7. Dallas 27, Atlanta 20.
Falcons trying like mad to force a punt on 3 plays.
They have all their timeouts. They give this to Dorsett. They shut him down after a couple, led by Tom Pridemore. One of these teams will play again. One of them won't.
Well, Jeff Yates just came stumbling across. Glanville said his defensive line, the only time they can't do anything very well is when they're introduced. They're also beat up. Takes them about 10 minutes to make the center of the field, but they have played today on that line of scrimmage. Yates, Bailey, Lewis, Murrow, Edgar Fields, Famuina. They've been tough.
Make it 2nd and 7, Dallas. Dorsett and Laidlaw operate behind Danny White. And Danny White has Jackie Smith wide open. He will have the Dallas first down. He gets inside Atlanta territory. The 3rd catch of the day for Jackie Smith.
And he keeps taking each ball. I don't think he'll retire. There was some talk he might give up after 16 years. It looks like he's found the fountain of youth again.
He's happy to be here, but the happiness on the Atlanta bench, you can't see.
Oh, but they came from the other side of the great beyond. What a year. And the town really responded to the Atlanta team.
Roger Staubach with the gloves on and with the cap on, up by Mike Ditka. Doesn't appear that he is seriously hurt. Very fine mist has started to fall. Playoffs tomorrow will take place at the Los Angeles Coliseum and in New England where Houston plays. On CBS you'll see Minnesota against Los Angeles at the Coliseum. Got the ball covered up. Of course there is a huge hole in the top of Texas Stadium. It's not completely covered. The only people that get wet are the players. At the 46. Both tight ends, Jackie Smith and Dupree in the game as Dorsett swings behind Laidlaw. Stays on his feet, goes out of bounds on the far side of the field, stopped by Greg Brazina. He did not get out of bounds, and so the clock continues to run.
And the pursuit of that Atlanta team still is something to see. The entire 11 red shirts were right with Dorsett on the far sidelines. He's got the breath knocked out of him a little bit, too.
Dorsett goes out, and Preston Pearson comes in to take his place. Drew Pearson already in the game. Frank Reed limping for Atlanta and limping out of the game. Moriarty takes his place. No matter if Dallas does hang on, you certainly have to congratulate them. Not often you congratulate a loser, but you certainly have to say something awfully nice about the Atlanta Falcons. Timeout.
Eddie LeBaron's done quite a job. The entire Atlanta operation. They'll be going to camp in 3 weeks after this season.
Rankin Smith at the helm. .109 left to play. Dallas ahead by a touchdown. These two coaches, Tom Landry and Lehman Bennett, perhaps should try the profit business. Billy Joe Dupree is the intended receiver.
I don't understand the play.
I don't either. Over on the Dallas bench, Thomas Henderson and Tony Dorsett talking about the Super Bowl. If the Cowboys win and Los Angeles should lose to Minnesota tomorrow, the Cowboys would host the NFC Championship game next Sunday here at Texas Stadium. If that happens, the Cowboys announced that tickets for that game would go on sale at Moody Coliseum on the campus of SMU and at the Central Ticket Agency in Fort Worth immediately following the conclusion of this game, of the Rams-Viking game, I should say. They would remain on sale for 2 hours. The sale would resume at the Cowboy ticket office in the Expressway Tower at 10 o'clock New Year's Day. And I'll tell you about the rest of the ticket information in just a minute. Third down, Dallas. And again, the ball goes in the air. Tony Hill is saying illegal contact was made with Rick Bias, and it looked like he had a legitimate complaint.
Rick is still battling, though, isn't he? He was going for the ball, and I imagine the official looked up to see where his hands and eyes were.
Now, if Los Angeles defeats Minnesota tomorrow, a limited number of tickets for the NFC Championship game between Dallas and Los Angeles would go on sale for Cowboy fans at the Dallas Cowboy ticket office Tuesday, beginning at 8 a.m. So I hope you got all that. Cowboys 27, Falcons 20.
And almost a minute left.
Kenny White back to punt for Dallas. Atlanta has all 3 timeouts left and 59 seconds on the scoreboard clock. So, keeping in mind their history, don't leave. The frantic Miracle Falcons will have at least one more shot.
Bartkowski has been sacked 6 times. He's 8 for 22. The next 3 or 4 he throws may be the most important.
He'll start from the 20. Bartkowski fires down the middle. Rickman had it and dropped it. Cowboys think it was a fumble. The officials say no. Incomplete pass.
Dave Stalls was the one that knocked Bartkowski from underneath the pass, and Rickman almost did a flip trying to catch it.
40 seconds left to play now.
Is he a tough little lumber, huh?
Can't weigh more than 160. He doesn't want to come out either.
Sure doesn't.
He caught 77 passes his senior year in college. Didn't get a lot of people's attention, but he got Atlanta's.
Louisiana Tech.
Right. Keep in mind that Atlanta still has all of their timeouts left. It's second down. Bartkowski goes. It is intercepted by Cliff Harris. The intended receiver fell down, and that should do it. The defending Super Bowl champions will have another chance to defend. In the NFC Championship game, Alfred Jackson was the intended receiver, and he fell down. Steve Bartkowski, dejected of course right now.
Bartkowski's proven he is certainly going to be a great quarterback down there for a long time. It might have been Francis trying to come across. Or Jackson, let's see. Not bad protection. There's the receiver on the ground. Almost fair caught by Cliff Harris.
He was very careful. Dallas cheerleaders finally, after a long struggle today, do have something to cheer about. Atlanta led 7-3. At one time they led 20-13. Can't say enough about the job that Danny White has done. Falcon jumped offside.
I just loved it when the underdog came in and said, "You're 14 points better than we are. Prove it."
If you think about what Lehman Bennett said, I was talking about the profit business before. Lehman Bennett said it would take at least 23 points to win. Dallas got 27. There's Lehman. Landry said in a playoff game, 14 points is too much to give anybody.
False start, moving before the snap, 68, offense, first down.
It was A Cowboy who moved that we didn't see. It was Herbert Scott. There is Landry with the rest of his team, including Bedford Wynn, who's always there. Clock running. And just as soon as that play starts, and the Falcons swarm on the ball carrier. Laidlaw, led by Edgar Fields and Jim Bailey.
That's the one that hurts when you're getting ready to go on to another playoff game and the big guys are still mad about going home and not playing anymore.
Raymond Bennett's staff has done quite a job, and so has he. 27-20 with 22 seconds left. This should be it. Laidlaw is hit right at the line of scrimmage. They'll obviously try to strip the ball, but Edgar Fields and the rest of the Atlanta defense can't make it work. They call timeout.
They could have fallen on that ball.
I was just thinking about that. Maybe they don't know about that game between the Giants and the Eagles when they didn't fall on it, missed the handoff, and the Eagles won.
Whistling Ray didn't have a turnover all day, you know it? Is he a piece of work? Look at this.
We got to get some weight on that horse. He's looking a little lean. There's Roger Staubach behind Jim Myers. Don't forget tomorrow, the Vikings play at the Los Angeles Coliseum against the Rams. People are saying that Minnesota has no chance, but don't believe it. They said the same thing about Atlanta.
Would Tarkington love to do that to the Rams out in the Coliseum? I can't wait to see it.
Preston Pearson just sort of sifting around, hoping the clock will run out, and again, they chose not to fall on it. And again, Atlanta calls a timeout.
Maybe that's a Western custom. You don't give up until the final gun or something. I don't know.
That's the last Falcon timeout, so they can't do that again. And White goes over to see this time what Landry wants to do. 7 seconds left to play. Clock stop. 27-20.
Brezina is over finding out what to do from Lehman Bennett on the last play. Some linebacker, the man from the University of Houston, number 50, huh?
Wow, yeah. Been there a long time. 8 sacks he had on the year. It's a pretty close, huh?
They even look good in the warm-ups.
I'd like to let you know about some of the people who've been responsible for this broadcast, other than the two of us. That's one of them, and that's a good one. And that's another good one. And that's another good one. And the whole group will keep.
We ought to also thank these two football teams. They have put on quite a show.
That's right. White just runs for his life. Now as the Dallas Cowboys, the defending world champions, will have a chance to defend one more time.
Turnovers. Can you imagine having 3 turnovers in the first half and being able to come back out? And I still think the Dallas defense sets the tone.
It certainly seems like it. And Danny White, who replaced Roger Staubach, did quite a job. This then is Pat Summerall saying goodbye from Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, for Tom Brookshire. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.